Hello, my name is Kerry James, Chief Strategist at BlueMagnet, and we are back with another digital marketing roundup where we talk about the cutting edge, latest trends and insights in terms of what's going on in digital marketing. Today, I have got Jessica McIndoe with me, who is the Head of Content and Social Media Strategy at BlueMagnet, and she is going to be talking to us about some of the latest goings on in terms of social media. Welcome, Jessica.
Thanks very much, Kerry.
So I've always remembered talking about social media going back 3-4 years ago. I remember the conversations around how social media would never really take off. And if it did take off, it would probably just stay in the social media space and never really move into the business realm in the ways that we've seen it do so today. How have we seen a change over the past 3 years, specifically in South Africa?
Well, thanks very much, Kerry. Well, I think brands now, where we've come from the days of let's all do Follow Friday and on Facebook, tell us what you're doing. Brands have moved quite progressively within South Africa, and they can't afford to be silent anymore. If we look at stats from last year to this year, just in terms of response time, brands are sitting up and taking notice. One voice can be heard quite loudly. Just in Facebook alone, specifically within South Africa, they've gone from 7 hours response time to 2.1 hours response time. So the power of the individual from a South African perspective, where brands need to sit up and actually listen now. There's no more, you need to have quality conversation and also pay attention to what your audiences are saying.
Okay. So I'm hearing a lot about businesses actually skilling up their own internal staff rather than actually outsourcing social media. Are you finding that that's more of a trend?
For sure, we are seeing that. We have our training that we do, and this year the classrooms were definitely a lot fuller. Also, what we're finding as well is that because the marketing has become person to person as opposed to just B2C or B2B, that it isn't just belonging to the marketing manager anymore. In business, it is the IT manager, the CEO is online and he's visible to everybody, the HR manager's there as well, the call center agents, so everybody needs to be involved. You can't be siloed anymore. They're actually expecting now, we've got that whole playoff between agency versus I can do it internally, I know my business, no, I know the social media tools. So we've historically had that. Back in 2014 it was, outsourcing was sitting at about 27%, which dropped down to 13%. And then we've seen a slight increase again, but the classrooms are definitely fuller now of sort of an array of people within business. So we've definitely seen a change there. And it's really around how businesses and agencies going to collaborate, where a business can understand what the agency is saying and what are those reports coming through, as well as the businesses having a little bit of ownership, because it's down to everybody now. And
really knowing how to respond real time as a brand. Yes. As a brand, you're really only going to know, you know it best. You know how to respond in terms of your clients, whereas maybe an agency is not going to be as on the pulse, and they're not going to really know how to respond exactly. Exactly.
So there's where they can meld together, where they can work together. So the agency has the ideas for the campaigns, but you've got to remember that you can't go live with a campaign and not tell the call center agent who gets the millions of calls once the campaign's gone live. So it's really, really important that brands look at upskilling themselves. So next year we're expecting a lot more people attending, because you need to be on the ball.
So strategy could still definitely live with the agency, but implementation per se and real response time could actually live with the brand or the business.
Definitely. So the brand should take ownership of that. They're able to answer quicker. They do understand the brand. The agency does know about the strategy and the platforms, and that's really how we need to be working together moving forward.
Okay, fantastic. So now, obviously, as social media progresses from a business perspective, who is really our new target market? What age, what demographic are we talking to from an age perspective?
Okay, so the age of the millennial has arrived. Very exciting times. They are your new co-worker, your new employee, your new customer. And really, brands need to get to grips with that. One of the scary stats that came out this year, LinkedIn has been growing year on year, the same percentage. Someone joins every 2 seconds. But social media managers in South Africa actually feel that it's a boring tool. and it's not coming from the CEOs, where we historically had that happening. And LinkedIn, for example, all the millennials see it as somewhere where they can improve themselves. They see it as the next best platform to improve on their lives. So South Africa, we're really about improving ourselves and, getting somewhere. So clever brands need to be thinking about that as a next platform to be on, because the people that get there now are going to own this space, and the people that don't get there in time are not going to own that space at all. So there's really missed opportunity there.
So it's really around not where the marketer wants to communicate and play, but really as the marketer needing to understand where the audience is, and then engaging it on that platform.
Exactly. So that's where it's so important for brands to work with people. Only 27% of South African top companies believe that they're actually effective on LinkedIn. And it's really about where your audience is, where they feel comfortable. So you need to get comfortable as a brand, and you need to play in that space. Otherwise, you're going to miss your market.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Data, I mean, that's been this great buzzword for years, and I think, kind of specifically in 2016, Internet of Things, we all hear around data. What are some of the things we need to consider from a social media perspective? I mean, does Big Brother know everything about us? What's really going on?
Well, Big Brother doesn't know as much as Google, but Facebook knows more than Google. So there's actually more data now in Facebook than there is actually in Google. We recently ran a campaign for a client that Facebook knew that the person actually liked to go into the bank and be a branch banker than actually going and doing it online. Okay. So there's been a lot of talk around data over the last few years, and last year it was a huge buzzword. Everyone was talking about the data, and then companies actually took a step back because there's so much data there, the Internet of Things. So which data do you take? So it's really, really important for brands to go back to strategy, understand their business objectives. So if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Sure. And also when you're looking at your audience, if it doesn't meet your business objective and it doesn't meet the strategy, and you can leave a potential customer saying, so what? Always think, what's in it for me? What's in it for that customer? Why should I be your customer? And take that data, align it to your strategy, align it to your business objectives, and that way you're going to make return on investment.
Okay, so you're saying the data's there, we don't necessarily need to use all of it, but because it's there, we've got access to it, and we can pick out the parts that make sense, and we can build a strategy around that and be quite clever.
Definitely. Okay. And that's why it's so important also to go and audit that data. So understanding where are the gaps in the market, where are your competitors really doing well, where are they not doing that well, and what do your actual customers want? What are they asking for from you, and how can you turn that around to meet a return on objective for your business? And at the end of the day, it's putting money in your pocket. For
sure. So audits, research, I mean, very important in your view?
Definitely. If you haven't audited and you haven't done research, don't put a strategy together. Okay. You may as well not say anything, because you're not doing anything in terms of giving your audience any sort of benefit, as well as your business. You're just
kind of shooting in the dark. Really.
You are, okay. And you'll lose money. You just won't see any return on that investment that you've done.
Okay. We talk about engagement all the time. We talk about content. We talk about engagement. In our previous video that we did, we spoke about engagement and content around SEO. What are some of the engagement factors that we need to consider from a social media perspective?
Well, South Africa, strangely enough, this year, we were all very excited to see the engagement just sort of shot through the roof. Engagement was key. But content didn't go up. So brands are understanding the audience, and the audience do want to speak to us on social media. Brands are actually looking for next year to increase their spend by about 77%.
Okay.
What this means, though, is we've seen the turnaround where social media is no longer siloed. I mentioned earlier about it's your HR manager, it's your IT person. Even the tea lady has the power to break your brand. So it's really, really important that you put the investment into your people. What we've been doing as well is we've been sitting and doing consulting and getting everybody from each department in the room to strategize and what is important for their department. How do they reach the objective of what the CEO wants? The CEO wants money versus the call center people don't want to be inundated with phone calls from campaigns that didn't work. So really, really important to think of everybody in your business holistically and invest in all of those people because you're actually investing in your business.
So it's really a broad strategy across the entire team.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Social media is no longer siloed. It is not the job of the marketing manager at all.
Okay.
If you've got your business and you haven't put everybody all together and you're relying on the social media manager or the marketing manager only, then you're in big trouble for 2017.
Okay, fantastic. So, I mean, really, it's really around the product, really the brand or the product manager having to step up in 2017. It's no more around, I can just do what I did last year, or I can just kind of tweet when I want, post when I want. It's really integrated. It's a complete strategy. It's well researched, well thought through. I mean, take me through some of that around brand and product positioning.
No, definitely. So if brands want to achieve in 2017, then they really need to sit down, they need to strategize, they need to get everybody into a room, they need to research, they need to listen, they need to go and do an audit, see what they own, what works, what doesn't work, what do their fans actually want. It's about communities, it's about quality rather than quantity. It's quality conversations, user-generated content, and understanding all of that so that you can actually roll out a strategy that fits in with your business. If you've got a trend and you know stuff's going to go up in February and you've got sales coming through, then you need to align all of that. You need to align it with your SEO, you need to align it with your AdWords, you need to align it with your above the line, below the line. It needs to be in every single part of your business. Then you need to take that data and you need to, we talk about it all the time, measure. It's a continual thing. We had a client that was paying 10 Rand for a conversion. They're now at 11 cents. And that their sale is 10,000 Rand a sale. I mean, that's an amazing return on investment. And that's from continually taking the data, having a strategy in place, seeing what we're doing, understanding what the audience wants, so they can have return on investment. And that's the way to do it moving forward.
Yeah, fantastic. So, I mean, just really as a wrap-up, I mean, we've covered quite a lot here, but, you know, we say that social media has moved from business to consumer to really person to person now. That's been one of the big shifts. Yes. We're saying that response times on social media have massively declined in terms of time. We're saying from 7 hours down to 2 hours. I mean, that's a huge improvement. Businesses are spending much more on building their own social media competencies and skills in-house rather than outsourcing or leaving it to agencies. We talk about digital natives. I mean, they're really the new target audience. So someone born with a cell phone or a tablet in their hand, and that's who we're talking to. They've got the vibe.
The digital natives,
Yeah.
I mean, they were born holding an iPad. They probably came out with an iPad. So brands need to understand that. So if you're still talking about millennials for 2017, you're in trouble.
You're really in trouble. Okay, and then sort of how effective social media campaigns are working. I mean, you say that you've got to research and audit, and that then always unlocks future opportunities for your business, for your brand. Okay, so you need to invest in that. And the social media responsibility has moved from the marketing department, and it's now across the entire business. And every single person in your business, even down to the tea lady, is really is part of your social media conversation and community. And finally, you're saying that it's also about localized and relevant content.
Yes, it's about being hyper-localized. So a good example in South Africa is in Joburg. We talk a little bit different to the people in Cape Town. So if you're going to talk to Cape Town, talk to Cape Town. If you're going to talk to Joburg, talk to Joburg. Same with Durban. Yeah. Nelspruit. I mean, Nelspruit's one of the fastest growing places on Facebook in South Africa. So it's really about that and fluidity in your business as well. So through measurement and being fluid and understanding the full strategy and involving everybody, that's how you're going to be successful.
Fantastic. Great. So, Jess, thank you so much for spending some time with us today and sharing your insights. It's really been amazing. So thank you for that. And thank you for watching today. Remember, BlueMagnet specializes in digital marketing consulting and training. We work with a number of top brands and we work with digital marketing agencies. If you want to know how to get into your social media conversation and keep the conversation going, why not contact us? Reach out to us, click on the link below, and if you enjoyed the content in this video, please share it with everyone. Thank you.